guys. So it's getting cold out. It's that time of year and everything. And I would think in Copenhagen, Denmark, it's probably even colder, right? I mean, I'm not a meteorology major, but I think it's like extra cold there.
Sure.
Um,
Hell yeah.
uh, so all these people like out in Europe, well, all over the world, you know what I mean? We're pushing electric vehicles and everything. And that's, whatever. I don't really feel one way or another about it.
Right.
But when you have lithium ion batteries, what happens to it? Like you leave it out in the work truck overnight, it's freezing cold out. What happens when you go to pop that battery back in your drill or you put it on the charger or something? You get an error message that the battery's too cold.
Okay.
Well, this unnamed nitwit in Copenhagen, Denmark, placed a toaster under his electric vehicle to try to warm up the battery because he was so desperate to get his car to start because obviously it was too cold for the battery to even kick on and everything. And it's not like, pulling a little 12-volt battery out, bringing it inside and heating it up real quick, you
Oh
know?
my gosh.
So desperate to warm this battery up, he puts a toaster, runs an extension cord out to his driveway, puts a toaster under the car. Toaster sits there for God knows how long, and it sets the car on fire
Oh.
and the house next door. And the fire department had to come out and put all this stuff out, so now the police are strongly discouraging people from using this method to heat their power cells and everything. And yeah, so what do you guys think of that? So
I mean,
bad
he
news,
really, really burnt the bread on that one, huh, guys?
Yes, he sure
Jeez.
did.
Listen,
Not
he's
just,
saving gas money. He's saving the environment. He just sent off the most toxic smoke signal the world's ever seen. Because if you think burning rubber tires or gasoline's bad, try lighting a lithium battery on fire. Because I'm not sure if you
Oh, shit.
understand what they do when those things die. They have to
Ugh.
bury them in the ground because there's no other way to dispose of them unless you
Oof.
want to light the most toxic flare you can see from Earth. I can see aliens being like, these idiots.
yeah.
Yeah. No, they're yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, dude, did they say the brand of car, Liam, or they just said an electric
It
car?
just said an electric car.
Okay.
And so actually, I was wrong. I said he put it out to his driveway. He had one of those like car ports. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
not so much a garage, but you can put your car under it and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's so what happened was the flat roof above it that went up, and then I think that's how his neighbor's house went up. Could you
I
imagine
mean,
coming out, your neighbor's house is fine, but this nitwit put a toaster under his car and now your house is on fire?
oh my gosh.
And listen, I understand the premise. I can kind of follow him, right? So I can follow this super sped from my house and then down to the city, and we're almost at the stadium. But that's where he goes right and I go left, right? Where do you think? Have you ever held your hands over a toaster?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of heat did he think was going to generate from a toaster under the car? Like, you were clearly playing with what, I don't know, the 30 in this deck. It ain't a full
Yeah.
deck at all. No way.
No way. Dude, yeah.
The hell was he heating? Dog, it heats bread. And it takes a while.
Yeah.
Bread.
Yeah. He was probably thinking like, okay, it'll get a little warm, but it won't be too hot that it burns it.
Yeah.
Bro, you shouldn't put
And
fire anywhere near that stuff.
Nope.
And it's like common sense. You put the toaster underneath, the heat is hitting the battery now, and now the heat has nowhere to go when it gets
Yep.
too hot.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
you're gonna do that, then I guess put the toaster next to it, maybe a little small fan behind it, like
Yeah.
push
Right.
warm air
Yeah.
under the
Yeah.
car,
Yeah.
then maybe it'll thaw out. Might take a little while, but
Yeah.
better than lighting all this stuff on fire, you know?
Dude, yeah.
Listen,
What a
hindsight's a little
moron.
better, but this
Yeah,
sped, I
yeah.
don't think would ever come up with that type of plan. He was
Yeah, I
working
know.
with, not the most
No.
brain cells.
No,
Yeah, you're right.
absolutely not.
I'm pretty sure if I huffed nitrous, I could still come up with a better plan to keep the car warm than
think so,
sticking the
too.
toaster underneath it.
Oof. Dude, I just don't know, like, what was, I mean, was his thought process like, he was like, this always worked when I drove a gas car. Now they got an
Yeah.
electric. It's like, what the heck? I wonder too, like, what he was doing that was taking so long. I can imagine that he's like, all right, only leave it up there for a couple minutes. He put the toaster in there, went in to drop some heat, and he's in there like watching, Stranger Things on his phone, gets carried away, and he's like, oh no, my car,
Yeah, he goes and falls asleep.
yeah. He's like, oh no. But yeah, man. All right. Well, that guy's a moron. And he's from Denmark. So shout out. Fan of the show, listen to the show.